Like I said, if ballot boxes, in a democratic setting, ballot boxes decide who becomes what. And Nigeria is a democratically aligned country under a democratic dispensation. And if that is the case, I guess the ballot box should decide who becomes what and where and when. If you ask me a direct question like you did and you want a direct response, I will tell you that at the present moment, yes, we are pushing for the continuity of northern leadership in Nigeria for three fundamental reasons.
Northern leadership where? At the presidency? Okay.
At the presidency. And if you ask me why, I will tell you three fundamental reasons. One, it is only a northerner that will lead and will be fair to all other tribes and carry every part of tribe, religion, and region in Nigeria along in fairness.
Why do you think that?
Because by the nature of a northerner, he is brought up to care for others more than he will care for his own self. And this is what is happening. Check under the Buhari's administration. Go and check on the project so far cited in the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. If you check the project cited and the amount of money allocated to each of the projects, you will agree with me that 80% of the project under Buhari's administration is cited in south, southwest, and southeastern part of Nigeria than it is cited in the 3 geopolitical zones in northern Nigeria.
But isn't that pushing the idea of northern superiority too far when you say that it is only a northerner that can ensure equity for everybody? How can you, what makes you think that nobody else from anywhere else in the country can do that? And people have often said this is actually the kind of thinking that they interpret as northern arrogance, that okay, we have the numbers so we can decide who becomes president, and if we can decide who becomes president, it might as well be us, so we will keep the power because we are the only one able to bring equity to Nigeria. And they also come across and say this is why the North does not want Nigeria to break up, because they have a lot of interest in keeping power because they are able to dole out positions to their kings and kith and kings. Well,
you people might see it as arrogance. I don't see it as such. It's the issue of attitude. It is also the issue of fairness that we are discussing here. I am not saying it is only a northerner that can be fair, but I am saying that northerners are known with that fairness. So it is not necessarily saying that others are not fair.
But how will you know if you have never tried others?
Well,
as people are saying, try the other now.
The others have been tried in the past, and we also know the result of what the trial of the others had been.
Where and when? You are talking Obasanjo and Jonathan.
Obasanjo as a military first, Ironsi as a military head of state, Obasanjo as a military head of state, later Obasanjo as a military civilian president, Jonathan as a civilian president. All those, if I want to leave it to within these ones, you go back and see what happens. Even what brought about the Nigerian Civil War, it was because Ironsi caused it, and then go back to history and find out. And also tried Ojukwu in the past, what he said and what he did. I don't want us to go too deep into that so that people will not look at it so critically, but that is the truth. So if
our program here is frankly speaking, so yes, you can be very, very frank about it. The frank about it
is that it is only another, and it is the northerner that hold back Nigeria and try to keep Nigeria as one. Otherwise, Nigeria would have been in pieces by now. So it is only a northerner that have that sense of fairness, that have that sense of togetherness, that have that sense of cohesion, that have that sense of nationalism to make the country continue to coexist as one, and then the issue of continuity. If you can have so many examples, that is on that side. On the issue of number, yes, we have the number, and there's nobody can dispute the fact that the North has the number, and then it's politics, a game of number, and we're in a democratic setting. So let the number count, let the vote count. Well, let's go to the ballot boxes and let the ballot box decide who becomes whatever in this country, from the position of president to the lowest position. That it's a normal thing. I don't think there's any challenge over that. And then coming back to the issue of dominating power or wanting to continue to be in the presidency, and that was the reason why North want to continue to keep Nigeria together. We have said it in the past, not we. I was the first in the North to make a public pronouncement in a gathering that constitute the Afeniferes, the Ohanese, Indibos, the Niger Deltans, and other tribes, that I made the pronouncement that the North is ready for separation. And truly, if once the time for that comes, the North is truly ready for separation. We don't really need other part of Nigeria to exist as Northerners, because but we want Nigeria to continue to exist as Nigeria. But that is not to say that if the need for separation comes, we will not support the separation. Even right now, we are ready for it, if the country is ready for it. But we still believe in Nigeria. We believe in the coexistence of Nigeria, because we are Northerners and we believe in Nigeria. And I've just started example. It is a Northerner that keep Nigeria together today. Otherwise, Nigeria would have been scattered into different things. Only God knows what would have been.
But how do you accommodate the demand that the North should also use position? Maybe if others have tried and they have not done as well as the North has done, that is because they have not tried as many times as the North has tried to be in power. So what is really important about keeping Nigeria together, if the North can survive without it?
The importance of keeping Nigeria together is that the strength of Nigeria lies in our diversity. The strength of Nigeria lies in our population. The strength of Nigeria lies in the tribes and ethnicities that constitute Nigeria. Once Nigeria is broken, Benin Republic here will be 10 times, in fact, 100 times better than some of the countries that will break away if that happens in Nigeria. I will give you an example. You think if, like you are calling Biafra, you think if Biafra pull out, you think states like Rivers, Cross Rivers, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, Delta, Edo will go with the Oduduwa? They won't. They will also break away. And did you think, and even if they do that, if you break away from what do you call it, Northern Nigeria, if you break away from the Yorubas, let's say break away the Oduduwa Republic, I can guarantee you also there is going to be a very serious conflict of interest even within Oduduwa Republic if you break it away, because there's going to be I am superior in tribe, even within the Yorubas where I am the superior tribe, and then we are having more educated elite than you, we are more richer than you, and things like that. That conflict will surely come up even within Oduduwa Republic if it happens to come to be. And coming to the Igbo side, you know, I know, every Nigerian know, there is no even intermarriage between the Igbo man of Abia and the Igbo man of Anambra, or Igbo man of Ebonyi and the Igbo man of what is the name of this Okorocha's state? I've forgotten the name of that his state.
Imo State.
Imo State. So there is no intertribal marriage between these states, even though they are Igbos themselves. They disagree with themselves. They disagree with their settings. In fact, within the Igbo, there is no administration, because each person has a clan, and that clan is controlled by a leader, and the leader is always disagreeing with the leader of the other clan. But in the North, we have a system of administration, system of coming together. So even if you have the Biafra Republic, I am telling you, it will not last 6 months. There will be a breakaway from the Biafra Republic within the Igbos. And like I said, the Niger Deltans will not also go with the Igbos. And even if you break away as Oduduwa, also within the Oduduwa there will be breakaway. Well, in the North, you can have a situation where we have the ones that call themselves the Middle Belters. But like I rightly said, this concentration of the state, 80% of states in the North, most especially those that you have some few out of them that call themselves Middle Belt. The ones that constitute the so-called Middle Belt are the most minority tribes within their states.
But what you are saying now flies in the face of current realities in the North. If you are saying that there is likelihood of other parts of the country, they break away to kind of fall into some kind of internecine conflict, okay? Why would the North, which represents a far more diverse territory than all those other places, North experience the same thing, and even now, as we talk, the North is already experiencing those tensions between religious groups, between ethnic groups in various parts, precisely between those diverse areas and between those diverse areas and the larger ethnic composition of the North, which is Hausa Fulani. You have a sort of disagreement going on between those groups, especially the so-called Middle Belt and the core North, which may easily fall into that pattern of violent disagreement if Nigeria breaks up.
Well, the good thing about the North is, first, we were brought up religiously. We were also brought up culturally. A Northerner is culturally well brought up. A Northerner is religiously well brought up. And we so much recognize and respect our religions. We so much recognize and respect our culture. And that is what gives room to respect for elders. You discover that in the North, once there's anything coming up, once the elders speak, you find that everybody goes down and allow and listen to the words of the elders. We don't disrespect our elders. We don't disagree with our elders publicly. We only try to advise our elders where we find them going wrong, but we don't disgrace them publicly. We don't disrespect them. And then that is what our religion taught us, and that is what the culture of a Northerner is all about. That will make the North to continue to coexist and stand like one.
But yes, it's sadly a value that is restricted to the North. I'm sure other cultures will claim these virtues for themselves.
They could claim the virtues, but everybody in Nigeria knows that this is not for you. And that is why it is comfortable for every Nigerian to find himself in anywhere in the North and coexist with any Northerner peacefully and even do economy. You can't go to the southwest or southeast today and say, as a Northerner, you want a piece of land that you want to buy and build a house or construct a structure that will be a business venture. You can't do it. They can't sell it for you. But you know too well that there are a lot of over 19 million Igbos that are in the North and over 17 million Yorubas that are in the North. And most of these have personal houses, they have personal farmland, they have shops that they build, they have skyrocketed buildings that they build, that the Northerners sold those land to them and their certificate of occupancy of those lands, and it's their personal property. And no Northerner is coming after sale to come and claim ownership of those properties.
But why aren't Northerners why aren't there more Northerners in the South?
Because the Southerners will not allow a Northerner to go and establish and grow in the South. In fact, even within the Southerners, they fight.
But I thought it is because the North, because they tend to be relatively self-sufficient, especially in food production.
Yes, that is
and
true.
In population also.
Oh, yes.
And they are more diverse also.
Of course, yes.
They don't find the need to travel to other parts of Nigeria to settle because it's relatively easy to live in the North. You don't need to clear too much ground to build a house.
That is it.
You don't need to till too much soil to set up a farm and all that.
Oh, is that correct?
So if I don't think any Northerner has been denied the same rights that the North is given other tribes because they are Northerners.
I disagree with you in that one. We have about 6 million Northerners residing in the south, southwest, and southeastern part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And out of these 6 million Northerners, 2 million of them transit. When I say transit, they move up and down in terms of buying and selling, while the other 4 millions are resident in the eastern, southern, and the western part of Nigeria.
And have they been denied?
And even those 4 million, they live in either motor parks or in wooden houses, butchers, if you like. Those are the kind of houses they own. There is one TV man who is a Northerner from Benue, who went to Abia, bought a piece of land from another Abian, Igbo man, and built a petrol station that have only 2 petrol pumping machines. He is never allowed to do that business. That was how he was pushed out. Just a piece of land that carries only 2 petrol pumping machines. He was never allowed to do that business. This is the same situation with every northerner that goes to every part of south, southwest, or southeast. He will never be allowed to own a piece of land to establish any business. This is an attitude of southerners, if you like, or westerners, if you like.
So why is Dangote being allowed to build a refinery in Lagos State?
Dangote is allowed to build a refinery in Lagos State because first, Dangote is an international businessman. Not only Dangote and Rabiu, that is Bua. These are the two major northerners that has establishment in the other part of the country, and even those ones is because they are so powerful, they are so rich. Those people know too well that locally they cannot stop them. One, two, it is the government that even used to beg them to come and establish in their own state because it provides employment opportunities. And it will interest you to know that these two guys that we are talking about have more investment in that part of the country than they have in the northern part of Nigeria. So
why? Are they not northerners?
Of course they are northerners, but that is where they choose to establish their businesses, and that is where they are running their businesses, possibly because most of their activities included shipping and what have you. So they needed more of where there is sea and what have you to be able to establish properly. And those are the only two that you can have that has such things. But I've cited an example of the growing one, the young one, the one that is trying to grow in business, that bought a small piece of land and then established a 2-pump petrol station that was never allowed to do business. And up till tomorrow, if you go to Abia, it is still there. That filling station, he cannot function. They are not making use of it, and he cannot make use of it.
So how is your organization now fighting to change that situation? And there really hasn't been a great noise about northern marginalization in the south. And though there's no talk of the north marginalizing southern population in their midst, and there's also no talk of southerners marginalizing the north in their midst. So where is your own story coming from?
We are the north and northerners are accommodating. I've said this before now. North and northerners are accommodating. We accommodate. We carry people along. But the southerners cannot do what we do. And this is why I said only the Igbos have about 19 million. There are about 19 million Igbos in northern Nigeria. There are about 17 million Yorubas in northern Nigeria. But in totality, there's only about 6 million northerners in the entire south, southwest, and southeast. And of the 16 million, only 4 million of them are actually resident in this state. The other 2 million are on transit. They move within 2-3 months. That is, once it is rainy season, they return back home to the north and come and farm. Once it is dry season, they now go back for petty trading, fingernail cutting, wheelbarrow pushers, to orange sellers, tomatoes sellers, wire makers, and the likes of them. These are mostly what they do, motor park boys, or doing Okada.
So how do you expect this class of people, generally low income earning group in this southern state, how do you expect this kind of people to actually reach a point where they will have the kind of investments, build houses in the south, as you are saying?
There are others.
Is it not simply because of the fact that they really can't build this?
There are others that are there. That's why I said these ones that I mentioned to you are the 2 million that transit. The 4 million are there, resident in those states, and they only live in batches because there's no land for them to buy and build houses. It is not because they don't have money to buy those land and build houses. It is because nobody will sell the land for them to build houses in those parts of Nigeria. But when they come to the north, we give them land. There's arable land. We have it enough, more than sufficient. So we sell to them, and then they own it, and then they live peacefully. But they don't allow our people to live peacefully. They kill, they destroy the properties of northerners at the slightest provocation. And this is part of what we have been agitating and disagreeing with. We have made so many press conferences, we have made so many statements, we have expressed our displeasure in so many different forums, in so many different ways, to what the southerners are doing to the northerners at the slightest provocation, while we try to protect them and protect their investment back here in the north.